Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something that's kind of fundamental to how we all learn. You know how we're taught to keep everything in separate boxes? Well, we're going to challenge that idea. We're going to explore a whole new approach that's designed to connect everything you learn and build a mind that's, well, truly ready for the future.
Okay, let's start with a feeling I bet you know really well. You're in one class, you learn something super interesting, but it feels like it's in its own little world, totally disconnected from your other classes, right? Math stays in the math box, history stays in the history box. But what if the answer to a problem you're stuck on was actually hiding in one of those other boxes? See, this separation, it's not just about forgetting stuff. It's actually stopping us from making those big, innovative leaps.
I mean, for centuries, education has basically been built on these boundaries, right? Isolating knowledge. But there's a new model out there that suggests a pretty fundamental shift. So instead of building up these walls between ideas, we're going to talk about focusing on the connections, the things that let our knowledge grow and scale and even organize itself into this powerful network.
All right, so here's the plan for today. We'll kick things off with the problem with learning as we know it. Then we'll get into this boundaryless new idea. We'll meet the AI brain behind it, look at the blueprint for knowledge, walk through a 5-step journey, and finally wrap up with what this all means for the future of your mind.
Okay, let's dive right into Section 1, the problem with learning. Why is the old model just not cutting it anymore?
So, the old way of learning, it's kind of like a checklist, isn't it? We just jump from one little island of information to the next. And what happens? We cram for a test, we pass it, and then, poof, that knowledge just fades away because it was never really anchored to anything meaningful. In a world that's all about connection and creativity, this old model is, well, it's just failing us.
So, what's the alternative then? Let's get into it. It's all about moving from just a random collection of facts to a living, breathing web of knowledge. This is what's called Boundaryless Education, or BE for short. And look, this isn't just some new classroom trick. No, it's a system for your entire life. It's about using things like AI and visual thinking to build one single connected network of knowledge, one that literally grows and evolves with you. And here's the absolute key takeaway. The whole point of B is to switch you from being just a passive consumer of information into being an active architect of your own mind. You get the power to build, to manage, and to grow a knowledge system that is 100% yours.
All right, so to make all this happen, you're going to need a totally new kind of engine. Let's talk about the tool at the core of all this, your AI brain.
So this is called the AI-Fractal Grid Brain, or AI-FGB. And I want to be clear, this is so much more than just another note-taking app. You should think of it like a new instruction manual for your own mind. It's a digital place for your notes, sure, but it's also a cognitive framework for how you think. And it's all powered by 5 unique properties.
Okay, let's break down these 5 core powers, because this is where it gets really cool. First up, fractality. This just means you can zoom from a tiny, tiny detail all the way out to a huge concept super easily. Then there's connectivity. This is what lets you link, say, your history paper to a song you love. Next is adaptivity. The system literally evolves as you grow and your interests change. Then we've got AI augmentation. This gives you an AI partner that helps you spot connections you might have missed. And finally, metacognitive feedback. This one's wild. It actually helps you reflect on how you think, making you a better thinker over time. All 5 of these work together to create a tool that is totally uniquely yours.
All right, so we've got this amazing engine, the AI-FGB. But every engine needs a blueprint, right? So let's look at the underlying structure that makes this whole thing work. In this image here, it's a great illustration of the whole ecosystem at a glance. Right in the middle, you've got Boundaryless Education. You can see it's powered by AI, it's structured by a method we're going to call FGO, and it pulls in knowledge from the real world using a framework called SHOW. So let's break down what FGO and SHOW actually are.
Okay, so that master blueprint, the structure, is called Fractal Gridding Ontology, or FGO for short. The easiest way to think about it is it's the simple set of rules for how your ideas are going to connect and grow. And believe it or not, the whole system is built on a super simple visual pattern, a 3x3 grid. That's it. You use this little grid to map out the core parts of any single idea you want to explore.
But, and here is where the magic happens, any single one of those 9 squares can expand into its own brand new grid, infinitely. And that's the whole game. This fractal quality is what lets your idea scale from a tiny little fact into a massive, complex system.
And remember, this system is not just for stuff you learn in a classroom. That's where the SHOW framework comes in. It's designed to make sure you're connecting knowledge from every part of your life: school, home, outdoors, and work. It basically turns your entire life into a learning opportunity.
Okay, so we've got the tools and the blueprint. Let's get down to the practical stuff now. How do you actually build your own AI brain? Well, it all comes down to a really simple 5-step journey. Now, this isn't a one-and-done thing. It's a continuous cycle that just keeps making your learning more powerful. It starts when you collect ideas from everywhere. Then you connect them using those visual grids in AI. Out of those connections, you create something totally new. Then you communicate your ideas, and finally, you contribute them back to make a real impact. And every single time you go through this loop, your personal knowledge system gets stronger and smarter.
So, we get to the big question. What's the ultimate payoff? What happens to your mind when you really adopt this new way of learning and thinking?
Yeah, this is about way more than just taking better notes. This is about unlocking actual superpowers for your brain. You'll start to develop systems thinking, so you can see those hidden connections in the big picture patterns. You'll get amazing at cross-disciplinary synthesis, basically combining ideas from different fields to create brand new things. You'll become a better collaborator. You'll understand your own mind better. And maybe most importantly, you'll build this incredible lifelong adaptability. You'll be ready to learn anything and really thrive in a world that's always changing.
So when you put it all together, this whole journey is about empowering you to transcend those old, boring boundaries. You're not just learning stuff anymore. You are literally becoming the architect of your own mind. So I guess the only question left is, what are you going to build?